Spider-Man swings through the night sky, not over New York this time, but over the dark and brooding Gotham City. He's hot on the trail of a villain who has just robbed a heavily guarded museum. And suddenly, out of nowhere, Batman drops down beside him. And in his usual gruff voice, he says, "So you're the famous Spider-Man. I was wondering when you'd show up." Now, Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, is taken aback by this. He thought that Batman would be grateful for the help, but instead, it feels like Batman thinks he's part of a bigger problem. Confused, Peter responds, What do you mean?" But before Batman can explain, he gets a message on his communicator and he disappears into the night. Left alone with his thoughts, Peter realizes that something isn't right. Why did Batman seem so angry? And why does he think that Peter is part of a larger plot? Determined to find answers, Peter follows Batman, determined to clear his name and understand why the Dark Knight is so suspicious of him. As they descend deeper into the heart of Gotham, we learn that the criminal underworld of Gotham is thriving on the chaos that has been engulfing the city lately. In fact, one of the main reasons for this is the lack of Batman. He's been absent from most of these crimes, which gave these villains the confidence to strike. But as Batman tries to bring them to justice, he soon realizes that there's someone else watching over Gotham. Someone who, like him, is trying to bring the city's criminals to justice. At first, Batman is skeptical. He doesn't trust Spider-Man and believes that he's only looking out for himself. But Spider-Man is persistent and eventually wins Batman over. Together, they take down Gotham's criminal underworld. But their victory is short-lived because their biggest challenge is yet to come. The mastermind behind the scenes is revealed to be none other than the Penguin. He's been manipulating both Batman and Spider-Man into doing his bidding, hoping that they would destroy each other in the process. The fight between Batman and Spider-Man is one for the ages. It's a battle of wills, strength, and strategy, and neither hero is willing to back down. But as the fight rages on, it becomes clear that neither of them can defeat the other. They're simply too evenly matched. And then suddenly, just when it seems like things couldn't get any worse, Catwoman appears and she reveals that she's been working with the Penguin all along. She says that she never really trusted Spider-Man and that she knew he would eventually leave Gotham once he realized that he wasn't welcome there. With Catwoman on his side, the Penguin now has the upper hand and he's able to defeat both Batman and Spider-Man. Now that they've been defeated, the two heroes are brought before the Penguin and he gloats over his victory. But Spider-Man, ever the quick thinker, manages to escape. As Batman recovers from his injuries, Spider-Man finds him and explains how he tricked the Penguin. Together, they race against time to save Gotham from the Penguin's clutches. But they soon realize that they need more help if they're going to succeed. So Spider-Man uses his web shooters to call for backup. And before long, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Green Lantern arrive to help. With the combined powers of these heroes, they're able to defeat the Penguin and his goons. And finally, with the threat of the Penguin and his gang no longer looming over Gotham, it's time for Spider-Man to say goodbye. Before he leaves, though, he stops by Batman's cave and thanks him for the help. He tells Batman that he learned a lot from him and that he lines never forget what they accomplished together. In response, Batman simply nods his head in acknowledgement. He knows that Spider-Man is right, but he's not one for pleasantries. As Spider-Man swings away, Batman watches him go, a rare smile playing on his lips. He knows that Gotham will be safer now that Spider-Man is gone, but he also knows that he'll miss the young hero's presence. Before we continue, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our awesome videos. And be sure to like this video because it really helps us grow. Back in New York, Spider-Man is a changed hero. His time in Gotham has taught him a lot about himself and the kind of hero he wants to be. He's more confident, more mature, and more determined than ever to protect the innocent. As he swings through the skyscrapers of New York, he can't help but feel a sense of pride and accomplishment. He may be just a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, but he's making a real difference in the world. One day, while Spider-Man is fighting with some criminals, he hears a familiar voice calling out to him. It's Catwoman, and she's asking for his help. Apparently, she had a falling out with the Penguin after he double-crossed her. And now she needs Spider-Man's help to take him down. Of course, Spider-Man is happy to help. After all, he owes Catwoman a debt of gratitude for helping him out in Gotham. Plus, he's always up for a good fight. When Spider-Man arrives at the scene, he finds Catwoman surrounded by a group of thugs. With a quick flick of his wrist, he shoots a web at the nearest thug and takes him down. The other goons try to attack him, but they stand no chance against Spider-Man's super strength and agility. After the goons are defeated, Catwoman thanks Spider-Man for his help. She tells him that she never thought she'd be working with Spider-Man, but she's glad that they became allies. She admits that she made a mistake by working with the Penguin, and she is grateful that Spider-Man helped her set things right. But before they can talk any further, the Penguin shows up and he's furious. He accuses Catwoman of betraying him and vows revenge on both her and Spider-Man. A fight ensues and Spider-Man and Catwoman team up to take down the Penguin and his goons. In the end, the Penguin is defeated and sent to jail where he belongs. As the sun rises over New York, Spider-Man and Catwoman swing away into the morning sky. They know that they'll never work together again, but they also know that they made a great team. As they fly, they reminisce about their time in Gotham and the battles they fought side by side. They also talk about their plans for the future and the challenges they lions face in their own cities. Finally, it's time for them to part ways. Spider-Man returns to his own city, where he knows he has a job to do. But before he leaves, he shares a final moment with Catwoman. They stand on top of a tall building, overlooking the city below. And in the distance, they see Batman standing on a similar height in Gotham. It's a silent farewell, but it's filled with a deep sense of respect and camaraderie. Spider-Man knows that he'll never forget his time in Gotham or the heroes he met there. And he carries those memories with him as he swings away. As we reach the end of this adventure, we're left with a sense of satisfaction. We've seen Spider-Man and Batman at their best, and we've witnessed the power of friendship and teamwork, but we're also left with a sense of loss. We know that Spider-Man is returning home, but we'll miss seeing him team up with Batman and the other heroes of the DC universe. But perhaps the most important lesson we learn from this story is that even the greatest heroes can learn from each other. Spider-Man and Batman may have different methods, but they both have the same goal in mind: protecting the innocent and bringing the guilty to justice. And in the end, it's their differences that make them such a great team. So as we say goodbye to Spider-Man and Batman, we can do so knowing that they lines continue to be two of the greatest heroes of all time. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit that like button and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an upload. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay awesome.